Live from the capital, Gaborone, this is BTV News at 9. I am Khomotso Mapane. Let's take a look at the headlines. A delegation from the Qatari royal family in Botswana to explore investment opportunities. Government commits to engaging trade unions.
And in sport, the Mets climb up FIFA rankings.
In sport is Laizao Seking and sign language is Amantle Babili. Good evening. A delegation led by a member of the Qatari royal family, His Excellency Sheikh Mansour bin Jabor bin Jassim Al Thani, paid a courtesy call on President Advocate Duma Boko this afternoon. The visit marks a significant step towards strengthening bilateral ties with a targeted focus on strategic investment partnerships in key sectors such as infrastructure and agriculture. Usidile Nkabetsi reports.
As foreign direct investment continues to play a critical role in the country's sustainable development landscape, global interests also continue to grow and bear fruit, with Botswana at the forefront as a fitting business partner. The Qatari delegation seeks to explore partnerships aimed at driving major infrastructure and development projects.
It's a very safe, very friendly, very warm place. It's a land wrestling with hope, with opportunity. It's a developing country. Of course, it is a country that faces many challenges in relation to which solutions must be found and found quickly. We therefore expect that in the course of time we will have more detailed conversations around minerals, around mining, around infrastructure, around pretty much everything, agriculture. Qatar pulled off an amazing feat when literally from zero, when it confronted a blockade where goods and other commodities couldn't come into the country, and it had to find urgent solutions. One of the most stunning of those solutions, as I've seen, is in relation to the production of milk, when not only did Qatar resolve the challenge of providing milk, but became now not just self-sufficient but capable of exporting. That is something worthy of emulation. We look forward to engaging and learning and working together in relation to that and many other opportunities in agriculture.
A glimmer of hope lies in the horizon for Botswana in her diamond space, which has in recent months been hard hit by global economic shocks. Prospective partnerships with Qatar offers her a possible lifeline.
We are coming here to do serious work. We want to develop Qatar with your country. We want to do long business together, and we are special for diamond. We are coming for diamond. We want to make in our country big island for diamond from your country. Plus here we want to make a little tower, diamond tower, and we are planning to do a little thing. Our people came last maybe 1 month ago. They came, they studied the market, they studied everything. It was very interesting for me. I said, let me to go again myself to meet you, to see the thing will be serious thing. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, we are seeing the thing very nice, very comfortable. The country is same what you said. It is very nice country. I think more important for us, it is safe, and we like to do work in this country.
Over the next few days, the Qatari delegation will engage with ministers and key industry players to formalize a framework for sustainable future cooperation in various sectors of development. Utsidile Onkabetsi, BTV News, Gaborone.
The Assistant Minister of Transport and Infrastructure, Mr. Kuahile Atamelang, has encouraged the ministry staff in Gang to work hard despite the current financial challenges, adding that government is working in concerted tandem to resolve them. The Assistant Minister said this when addressing the Department of Road and Transport Services, CTO, Roads and Building Staff in Gang yesterday. No Mudunwa reports.
Assistant Minister Tamelang urged his ministry staff to take good care of government property, questioning that neglect or misuse will negatively impact service delivery to the nation. He further noted that his mandate for the store is to pinpoint the shortfalls of planning process before the National Development Plan is rolled to the public.
How 2 days? Mo 2 days. How
if you have been given 2 days to take a decision, do so. If you are supposed to authorize something, you take leaves. Why can't you authorize before you leave?
How Chonzo sign leave and why can't we just authorize or sign letters just before we leave?
Furthermore, the staff was cautioned against corruption as it can also negatively affect their families.
From now onwards,
I request you to apply mindset change in everything we do. Since we want to build the new Botswana, let's take responsibility in everything that we do.
Everything. BX
Sometimes our officers move to the new buildings and abandon the old ones. Why can't we lease these buildings to the small businesses in the village? In an endeavor to appreciate the national infrastructures across the country, Mr. Atamelan toured the gravel roads linking settlements such as Monong and Make, amongst others. No Mudungwa, Botswana Television, Kang.
The 5+1 cooperating trade unions have expressed dissatisfaction over delayed salary negotiations for the 2025-26 financial year. This comes following yet another postponement by government of a meeting that was scheduled for this past Monday. In a media briefing, union leaders say government negotiators are intentionally stalling the process at the detriment of public officers. Horata Muranyani.
The 5+1 cooperating trade unions, representing a broad coalition of public sector employees, have been pushing for a swift and fair wage adjustments amid economic pressures. Despite meeting a number of times with the employer, the negotiations failed to bear fruit, going beyond the initial set timelines. The unions are adamant that the genuine negotiation process calls for honest and transparent dialogue from both parties.
Muhiri o rile o kupa gore meeting wa di 18 go ya go tsena ka 20 o ska wa nna teng yaanong se se re warisang gore because every time I dira di postponement tsa di meeting re propose at the next date se se re warisang ke gore there is no reason ya gore meeting o bo postpone
re salary simolotse dipuisanyo tsa rona ka mahelo a ga May 2025 mme le gompie go dintsi di tsweletse mme mo go tsweleleng ga rona sengwe sa dilo tse di re tshwenyang segolo bogolo ke gore mohiri wa naya fetola malatsi a bokopano ka boesi re ne re tshwantse go ka bo re kopane mo bekeng e ka kwa ya di 24 mme mohiri le ene
The doctors' union laid out how the delays have negatively impacted the health sector.
Kana ga o le makgotla kana o le di stakeholders o le Botswana Doctors Union o le Botswana Nurses Union, Botswana Public Employees Union le bone bo bolaodi jalo le bo manual workers re tla ha re bua thata ka re bua ka dikgang tsa babereki re leka gore re di tswale mo nako e khutshwanyane gore babereki ha ba leng teng ba ska ba hella ba utlwa bothoko bo ba hella ba tswa mo ditirelong tsa bone.
The 5+1 cooperating trade unions say they are still optimistic that the negotiating parties will eventually reach a common understanding. Khorata Moranyani, BTV News, Gaborone.
Meanwhile, Minister for State President Mr. Moeti says the government is ready to receive the petition from the 5+1 cooperating trade unions. Mr. Mohasa says government's position has always been to promote collective bargaining for the benefit of public service employees.
Mrs. Ting, you are hardly into Monaco. It's our retirement or a Bacauling of Bacatabat. Tisamokwalo and Obone Akabana Talos. Oil Horumpi and Orlomentaris or Amorin. I don't know where gets our Umozele. Me was suppose. Garanaguin, Zugarana, Hostana, Queen, Silo Super Supan. Mrs. Ting, your one. Nanegate, Zora, Pusene, Solo heads over Havanalea, the country in St. John. Ratataru Wisanya, bad union, have a say to Mel. Never got one like one, and Boko Pepute or Teruisanye. Leba puso lebone ese mo re bere nna re go antala go ke tshwanelo ya bone gore ba ka dira ya le sontse re tote mme ke tsa go na le ka re ka tsenya botoka ka teng ka ba ile o di khantsi thela ya ngwe go sa buiwe sente a ra tshwana re tikana ka mahoko re le bagolo mme tota se se teng kana ke gore ba dira la puso ba kgone gore di kgatlhego tsa bone tsone re di be go pele mme nna di ra tlhalosa re le puso re sola hela gore mme ba ta go ga mmogo go sena dipharologanyo mme se se teng ke gore nna ke dumela gore re santse re ka kgona gore re goge mmogo gore Batswana ba e leng gore ba emetse re le puso Batswana ba e leng gore union di ba emetse ba ta kgona gore ba kgone gore ba hitelle gore ba bone ma 4,000 ya gore ba ska ba tsoma nokonokong a ba leng mo gone mo nakong ya gompieno.
The Deputy Permanent Secretary to the President, Ms. Matshidiso Bukole, has expressed deep appreciation for UNICEF's support over the years, calling for further collaboration towards a collective resolve to accelerate action on matters affecting children and young people. Ms. Bukole highlighted this during a courtesy call by UNICEF this morning in Gaborone, meant to discuss ways to strengthen collaboration and review progress made thus far between the two parties regarding issues affecting young people and children's rights and welfare. Monica Setwaila with more.
Government and UNICEF's long commitment to prioritizing issues affecting children and young people stand as a powerful reminder of what can be achieved through collective action. With children and young people continue to face unprecedented challenges with regards to health and employability issues, both parties pledge to accelerate efforts going forward.
There is a lot that one is able to commend UNICEF for, and there's a lot that we think will continue to be done. The other thing is that under the GNU, the Generation Unlimited, UNICEF was gracious enough to allow, because we said, as Botswana, we are peculiar in that we would like for GNU to extend beyond age 24, I think it is, to 35, so that our young people up to age 35 can benefit from the initiative and be empowered. And we also had an opportunity for UNICEF to sponsor a consultancy work around looking at issues of employability of our young people, looking at their skills and how their skills match what it is that the market requires.
With the work that has been achieved so far in advancing issues of young people and children's welfare locally, UNICEF commended government's past efforts.
One is indeed, you made mention of it, which is Generation Unlimited, GNU. It's very exciting, I think, that the President, His Excellency, has agreed to be a member of the Leadership Council, which is really a very, very senior platform of similar people, and is, I think it's globally significant, but it's also, continentally, if you like, significant. And again, so I'm quite familiar with what GNU can do as a catalyst, And there are actors like the Qataris and who unusual new development partners who are interested in investing in young people.
As challenges affecting children and young people still remain a major gap in the country's aspirations and goals, such discussions are of critical importance to the country's developmental agenda. Monica Satswaila, BTV News, Gaborone.
You're still with BTV News at 9. The Assistant Director of DCEC, Mr. Mogolodi Rantsetse, says Botswana is ranked the third least corrupt country in Africa, according to the Corruption Perception Index, CPI. However, more needs to be done to fight corruption in the country. Speakers at the second annual Supply Chain Summit, organized by Exclusive Human Capital Consultancy, affirmed Mr. Rantsetse's sentiments, highlighting the need to review the Procurement Act of 2021.
According to the Corruption Perception Index, Botswana is ranked among the top 3 least corrupt countries in Africa, ranking 43rd out of 180 assessed countries globally. The CPI shows that Botswana recorded a decline in its score of being the least corrupt country, dropping from a score of 59% in 2023 to 57% in 2024. The decline has propelled stakeholders to join hands in the fight against corruption.
Botswana, as you know, in 1998 when they started, they were doing very well. We scored 65 and we were number 1. And for years after that, we were performing very, very well because we're meeting the expected standard of doing things in our country. But as years go by, we saw countries such as Mauritius, we saw countries such as Seychelles, countries such as Cabo Verde, which were now coming closer to us. And ultimately, now we have Seychelles and Cabo Verde, which are doing better.
Amending procurement laws and policies, capacitating procurement human capital is said to be crucial in the fight against corruption.
We need to lobby for PPRA to really take their mandate of professionalizing procurement as a matter of urgency, because our country seems to be regressing when it comes to issues of procurement, and something needs to really be done about that. And then the issue of streamlining our processes. This could be through re-engineering of our processes and all of that. And also try to enhance transparency and come up with anti-corruption mechanisms that can assist.
Direct appointment is allowed by law. And in terms of the law, it's supposed to be an exceptional process or procedure where circumstances are so agent and necessary that you rely on it. So, yes, it is allowed. As to whether that is what you do, that is left to you. But when issues come to us and someone is questioning it, that is the process that we follow.
Speakers also emphasized the need for the adoption of technology in the procurement sector to mitigate the risk of negative human intervention in the procurement cycle. Khobanane Sehedi, BTV News, Gaborone.
A recent study on intimate partner violence, stigma and help-seeking behavior conducted by the University of Botswana in partnership with Botswana Gender-Based Violence and Support Center indicates that the majority of women who experience violence did not disclose abuse to anyone, as they believe communities endorse violence against women because of patriarchal gender norms that favor men. The study also discovered that survivors are reluctant to report because of stigma of being judged and shamed. With more.
In response to the rising number of gender-based violence experienced by women in recent years, academic institutions such as University of Botswana are actively working with GBV support centers to combat the stigma surrounding intimate partner violence by conducting research, promoting gender equality, as well as coming up with strategies that can help survivors to seek help.
But some of the norms that come with culture can be harmful. And so, for example, in this study, we had looked at a number of statements, and like this one, a woman must obey her husband, and it is normal and acceptable to be beaten by a man. This can get exacerbated by a misinterpretation of Bohadi Mahadi.
These findings must not gather dust. They must be translated into interventions, community education to challenge harmful attitudes, training for frontline service providers, survivor-centered services, and stronger referral systems that make help seeking both safe and effective.
So we at the University of Botswana, a premier institution that actually was funded and founded by our grandparents, our parents, we feel a special responsibility to ensure that the research that we do is actually socially impactful, is answering the real challenges, not some esoteric issues that professors in their ivory towers profess over.
Those experiencing gender-based violence are encouraged to report such incidents to Botswana Gender-Based Violence Prevention and Support Center at toll-free number 14655 or report to the nearest police station. Btv-News, Gaborone.
Liza Sekeng is standing by to give you sport.
Thank you so much, Komotso. Good evening. I am Liza Sekeng, and we are starting off with football news. Botswana women's senior national football team, the Mairs, have climbed an impressive 7 places up the FIFA World Rankings. This was revealed by Botswana Football Association President Tariq Babizeng during a welcome ceremony held this morning for the team, fresh from their second consecutive appearance at the WAFCON finals in Morocco. Poshia Olopemulilo has the report.
Although the Mairs did not make it to the quarterfinals, their performance on the pitch has earned them global recognition, moving from position 153 to 146 in the FIFA World Rankings. The BFA president Tariq Babizeng said while the results might not have gone their way, the performance of the Mairs told a different story.
Mairs may have not qualified for AFCON 2027, still they've already won something far greater. The respect of the nation, the admiration of the continent, and a renewed belief in what is possible for women's football in Botswana. While the results on the paper may not have gone our way, the performance told a different story. Botswana's women's football is moving up. The Mairs are climbing on the FIFA rankings from position 153 to 146 in the world.
Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Sport and Arts, Boinelo Hadi, said the nation is proud of the team and reaffirmed the government's support for women's football.
The Mairs' success reflects government's commitment in advancing sport and arts at a national level. And I would like to emphasize that the team's achievements are a shared national triumph. Let me comfort you by saying that the ministry is currently working on a number of policies that are aimed at improving the environment for our national teams, for our elite athletes, and for our officials and sponsors and all other dedicated stakeholders in our sporting fraternity.
The team coach Alex Malete echoed the sentiments of pride, saying the team gave their all on the continental stage.
We feel nothing but gratitude, pride and humility, representing Botswana on Africa's biggest stage in women football was not just a job, it was a calling, a privilege and honor that we will carry with us forever. We showed the world what Botswana is made of. We may not have achieved the results we wanted, but we left a mark We carried our flag high.
Captain Nondi Matlasela extended gratitude to the Botswana Football Association and the support team for standing by the players throughout the journey.
Ke leboge Botswana Football Association for giving us a platform to showcase our talent. But nako tse dingwe we go into competitions and meet the teams that are highly motivated in terms of whatever aspects I can't talk about now. But please, let's look into those things. Incentives, the bonuses.
The mayor's title sponsor, FNB Botswana Communications Manager Boga Chilinde Masebu, says their commitment goes beyond the senior national team.
As I said before, that we came a long way. We come a long way with the men's. We come a long way with sports in this country. We come a long way, with football. So we continuously work towards our philosophy that we call grassroots to greatness. I just painted a picture of grassroots to greatness where I mentioned that we started with the mares at the junior team's time. We take talent from an initial stage, a lower stage, like a grassroots stage, and level it up through the different stages up until the pinnacle, which we see the mares now being at a pinnacle stage.
Poshaolope Mlilo, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And now switching codes, the national men and women's netball head coaches say they were impressed by the players' energy, discipline and responsiveness in the just-ended 4-day training camp held in Jwaneng. The teams turned up for their first training camp in Jwaneng under the guidance of new coaches Martha Muswatlesem and Neo Dema.
Following the men and women's national team trials held at the beginning of this month in Mogoditsani to identify both women and men players who will represent the country in the upcoming competitions, Botswana Netball Association continue with preparations to sharpen the selected 20 players.
The training has been good. I've seen the girls. I think I'm quite happy with what I saw. Lots of talent. So we had a group of 21 players where we had to take 15. That will be playing against Zambia in the next few weeks. So I'm quite happy and excited with what I saw. The girls are willing to learn. They are really a great bunch and I'm happy to be here. In the next 2 weeks, we'll be playing a test series against Zimbabwe. They'll be coming to Botswana, so we're quite excited because I'll be testing the girls for the first time to see how they can absorb the pressure, the international pressure. It's easy to see them at the camp, but you actually just want to see them competing against other countries. So we'll be playing against Zimbabwe in the next 3 weeks, and then afterwards we'll be having another camp.
Since it's the first training camp here, the little time that we have, we just utilized it. Really, combinations. We are still focusing on the final 15 players that are going to go and compete in the test series soon. So you're working on selecting those 15 players. Therefore, you are also working on more co-defender Harona as a team, preparing us, the players, as to work as a team because they're from different teams. Actually, they applied themselves very well because they knew that they won the selection. So I'm happy the way by points and to come up with the 15 players. Well, still have one camp to go on, of which we'll just brush some few things like the passes Arona, accuracy Arona is shooters.
Players had this to say about the just ended 4-day camp.
We just met with our head coach. She's from South Africa. We have a week with her. Then the assistant coaches, Neo, so since learning coach the combination, I think the first day when we came, but now we keep taking that progress.
We've been doing the basics, trying to get the basics right in preparation for the upcoming test series and the Africa Cup. So basically what we've learned, getting the basics right and then combining with the skills that are from our local clubs, and then building a strong team in unity because we are coming from different clubs, different styles of play, and then combining all those to see what can work best for the team.
The national netball team will compete in the African Netball Championship, which will be held in Malawi at the end of this year. The team will also compete in the Four Nations competition that will be held in Singapore in November and the World Cup qualifiers scheduled for Kenya next year. Btv Sport.
Now, former basketball player who's currently a FIBA-accredited referee, Dorothy Okatch, has been nominated for the prestigious 50 Most Influential African Women in Sports Awards under the Coaching and Technical Excellence category. Okatch is part of 10 women nominated for the awards from Botswana. Paco Sterek.
Okatch, who has been involved in basketball since 1999, when she was a player, said she's ecstatic about her nomination as it means a lot for her personally and in her basketball career.
Looking, you know, in all honesty, this is a boost for my resume. It's a boost for my profile, what I've done and who I am. You know, most times, unfortunately, the world out there, when you want to do certain significant things, they look at who are you? What have you done? Where are you coming from? And, you know, having this attached to my name, it's like, you know, as soon as someone puts PhD on their name, doors open for them, yeah? So having this being recognized as one of the 50 most influential women in sport. If I want to go and do seminars out there, it's like, okay, she knows what she's talking about. If I want to go out there and branch into something with sports, she knows what she's talking about. So I think for my own profile, this would be a boost for me to divert into different sports fields that I'm interested in. It's a boost for me to sit on boards that I'm interested in sitting in. It's a boost for me to also advocate for other referees out there. You know, like I said, most times we're only noticed when things happen badly, but it allows for me to actually have a voice and speak for others so that we are recognized as athletes as well and not just as those who mess up.
As she's also the 3-on-3 Basketball Ladies League organizer locally, Okatch said she's hopeful that her nomination and probable win would bring great yields for basketball locally.
It boosts my league. I'm hoping it boosts my 3x3 basketball league. I mean, if I do get it, right now, this league has been self-funded until this year where we had those who are coming in kind to be, you know, we'll do the refreshments, we'll do the kit. I would love to have those who come in and with the muscle power, financial power, and say, look, you don't have to take out of the fees you get paid to officiate. We're going to cover this for you. We're going to cover this for you. So I'm hoping me getting this award puts me at a status where there are those partners that are willing to now collaborate because they can see that I'm someone who's accountable and trustworthy and who is respected. And yes, of course, then it will cross over to the league. It will cross over to other basketball events that are being held. You know, I just really hope it gives basketball that look of stability, that look of this is a sport that can grow if you put trust in it.
Though basketball is not a popular sporting code locally, she believes there are areas they are excelling in.
Because it shows that in basketball, we might not be playing at the biggest competitions, but we have an official at the biggest competitions. That says a lot about our competence in the sport. It might not be on the field, but definitely we can be trusted to do other things that revolve around the sport.
From November 7th to the 8th, all nominees for the 50 Most Influential African Women in Sports Awards will gather in Nairobi, Kenya, where winners will be announced. Paco Sterek, Btv Sport, Gaborone.
And finally, the newly appointed Chief Executive Officer of Botswana Athletics Association, Mabua, has expressed his excitement about his appointment, highlighting that he will have a pivotal role in driving the association's strategic initiatives and fostering growth.
Mabua outlined his vision for BAA, emphasizing the importance of forging strong ties with the corporate world to ensure the association's commercial viability.
Athletics.
We have to grow athletics, which is one of the sports code that Botswana can live and support their families with. So this is an opportunity for me to awaken and grow an option for a lot of people.
So it's an opportunity for me to awaken or, you know, grow an option for
the new CEO highlighted that one of his key strategies will be to bring the corporate sector close to BAA while ensuring that association will be commercially viable. The most important thing is for us to look at our strategy and align with other strategies. It is therefore important for us to bring corporate closeness, to work with them, making sure that BAA is commercially viable.
BAA and athletics commercially viable. Development
Mabua highlighted that his focus will be on promoting athletes' excellence and developing the sport nationwide, including in rural areas.
Re nne le a way ya go identify talent eo.
Have a way to identify the talent and have a way to support. Likely there is a grant that the government uses to assist the club, though not enough, but we can take those grants and support clubs that are on the outskirts.
Go support you di club tseo deliberately tse di go khakala tseo tse di mo di kgaolo tse le di khakala bana ba teng ga ba khona go tamo di toropong gongwe le tsone re di tsose re di age.
The chief at Gold, Mabua cited the importance of a fully fledged secretariat, saying it will make it easy to transform the association as they can have specific individuals looking at specific departments.
A re khone secretariat ya khone go implement gore go dira.
The secretariat sometimes is not able to deliver well because at times they are faced with having to assist the athletes going on competitions. So if it's fully fledged, we are going to be able to deliver. Mabua's appointment marks a significant milestone for BAA, and his experience and vision are expected to play a crucial role in shaping the association's future. With the 2026 World Relays on the horizon, the BAA poised for a bright future under Mabua's leadership. Btv Sport Gaborone.
Well, and that is it for sport this evening. We now take another look at stories making headlines.
A delegation from the Qatari royal family in Botswana to explore investment opportunities. Government commits to engage in trade unions.
And in sport, the Mets climb FIFA rankings.
That's how we come to the end of our news bulletin this Wednesday evening. Liza Sekeng in sport. In sign language was Amantle Babili. Up next is weather. Good evening.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather forecast. My name is Kumo Cecil Manak. This evening, clear skies are visible over the entire country and on